All right, folks, we're going to start in just about a minute, and we want to be prompt because we have quite a few people on the live stream, so we don't want to leave them hanging. And please do come in and take a seat. We have seats, and we don't want them to be empty, so please do come and take a seat, even if you're not one of our speakers.
Well, good afternoon, folks. It's an exciting day to be with you today. You know, in Chattanooga, we're always looking forward, always looking for what's next, and how do you make things better? I think that's exactly what EPB did way back in 2009 when it built our fiber optic network. And then in 2010, Chattanooga was the first community-wide gigabit service available to everybody, whether they were the most affluent or the poorest, whether they were in the most densely populated area or the most rural area of our community. And at that time, we were seeing a lot of questions that said, well, what's anybody going to do with a gig? You know, do you really need that? And just fast forward to today, and you see that it's become the gold standard for what internet service really should be, is at gig speed. But we haven't stopped there, because a few years back, we rolled out 10 gig to the entire community, and just this past August, rolled out 25 gig available to anybody in the entire community. Today, we're excited to make another announcement, and for that announcement, I'm going to turn the microphone over to our chair of the board, Ms. Vicki Gregg.
Thanks, David, and thanks for being here today with us. You know, at EPB, our goal is to keep Chattanooga on the cutting edge while serving as I'm having a hard time with my glasses, serving as a national model for the implementation of smart city and smart grid technologies. Starting in 2016, EPB partnered with Cubatech, the Oak Ridge National Laboratory and the Los Alamos National Laboratory, and a U.S. Department of Energy-funded effort to develop a quantum cybersecurity technology. Actually got all that out of my mouth, with the ultimate goal of using it to secure the U.S. electric grid. Over the next 5 years, EPB provided progressively larger fiber optic loops between some of its substations to run this new quantum technology in practical applications. Through this process, EPB and Cubatech gained foundational expertise in how to establish and operate quantum networks as a real-world infrastructure, so not just research. Their efforts also led to the technical breakthroughs that earned an R&D 100 award in 2021. So today, we are here to announce that EPB and Cubatech are taking this effort to the next level by establishing EPB Quantum Network, powered by Cubatech. This joins our nation's other quantum developments assets as America's first industry-led community-available quantum network designed for private companies, as well as government and university researchers to run the quantum equipment and applications in an established fiber optic network environment. Our goal is to help accelerate the efforts of private companies, universities, and other national research organizations to bring quantum technologies to market. Quantum technologies represent the new frontier that will advance cybersecurity, sensing, and next-generational computing. This holds the promise for revolutionary benefits in protecting people from cyber threats, launching a next-generation internet, and developing new advancements in healthcare, finance, and other industries. At the same time, with the growing global focus on quantum technologies, the U.S. and our private companies are also investing billions in this emerging sector. EPB Quantum Network gives Chattanooga the opportunity to attract some of these investments and to create new jobs in our area while accelerating breakthroughs that could make a real difference in the community and in the nation as a whole. So I'm very pleased now to introduce Dr. Duncan Earl, who is President and Chief Technology Officer for Cubatech. Dr. Earl is the founder of Cubatech, but we see him as a brilliant graduate and scientist of the University of Tennessee, and also someone who spent 18 years as a scientist at Oak Ridge National Laboratories. And I gotta say, go Vols, right? Cubatech is America's leader in designing, building, and integrating the components of quantum networks, a precursor to the future development of the quantum-enabled internet. Cubatech breakthrough technologies were recently recognized with an Edison Gold Award and was our partner in the R&D 100 Award. We are proud to partner with this amazing organization, and so please join me in welcoming Dr. Duncan Earl to share more details.
Well, first off, thank you, Vicki. I really appreciate that introduction. Let me start today by saying how honored I am to be part of this group, to be standing here with EPB. EPB is a progressive company. They are forward-thinking, and most importantly, they understand how quantum is going to impact our lives and the way we work in the future. So it's great to be here today with EPB. Together, we have built the nation's first commercial quantum network. This is a metro-scale network that really is interconnected by more than 200 optical fibers. That's lots of capacity to grow and expand the network. We are today sharing quantum bits or qubits across this network. We're measuring them, generating them, and working towards applications with those systems. This network has a really important feature. It has common use equipment that's needed in quantum computing, quantum communications, and quantum sensing. So when we say common use equipment, we're talking about devices that can generate qubits, like single photon sources, polarization controllers that allow the quality of those qubits to be maintained across the fiber optic network, really high efficiency superconducting nanowire detectors that ultimately measure the states, the quantum states of the qubits, and finally all optical quantum compatible fiber optic switches that are critical for routing and reconfiguring that network. All of those common use resources are available on this network today. By the summer of 2023, we're going to add additional nodes to this network so that others in industry, national labs, and in academia can come to Chattanooga, take their equipment, bring their equipment, and put it on this network in Chattanooga to collaborate and accelerate the development of those systems. They can even collaborate with others from other industries on this network as well. So when you think of it that way, this is really critical infrastructure that's badly needed by the quantum community, specifically by the quantum industry, to accelerate the development, the adoption, and the integration of quantum technology. So again, we're very excited to be partnering in this with EPB, and we look forward to the future. David?
Thank you, Duncan, and thank you, Vicki. It's certainly exciting to see the development going on in Chattanooga. But when you're talking about a infrastructure that attracts businesses, having the right leadership in your community is so important. And we're honored today to have with us former Senator and Chair of the Foreign Relations Committee, Senator Bob Porker, with us, and I invite him to the stage to say a few comments.
Well, I will talk in a very different way than Duncan. And I know that many of you, your eyes may glaze over when you hear the word quantum computing. But due to our community's vision and the tremendous leadership at the Electric Power Board, which is one of the great institutions in America, led by our chairman, Vicki Gregg, and David Wade, who runs the organization as CEO, we find ourselves in a most unique place. We have a commercially viable quantum network available because of the real estate we own, meaning the fiber network that is available to everyone within 600 square miles. Quantum computing is important to our nation. It's not just important to people who are entrepreneurs. It is going to be front and center 20 years from now. And countries around the world today are utilizing this for their own cybersecurity, for things that they are doing to make sure that their nation, their countries are secure. But in Chattanooga, Tennessee, we already have a network, a commercially viable network. And what we're saying with this announcement is we are inviting companies from all over the world, not all over the world, we are inviting companies from all over the United States to come to Chattanooga. And sure, we want academia, sure, we want government, but we want the entrepreneurs that know how to make this work for America in our community. It's being offered in a way that is not about getting into your business. It's come here, do what you're doing, set up a small office, show us how you can utilize this network that Cubatech and the EPB have put together. I think this is a monumental announcement, candidly, for our country, but it's a monumental announcement for our community to be a part of something that is bigger than ourselves. We welcome you. We hope you will come to Chattanooga, and we hope you will advance your company's interest, but also our nation's interest. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. You know, leadership is required throughout our entire communities to move things forward, and we're honored to have two mayors that get up every day thinking about how do you make our community better. The City of Chattanooga's Mayor, Tim Kelly, and Hamilton County's Mayor, Weston Wamp. We're honored to have both of these gentlemen with us today, and I would ask Mayor Kelly to come up and make a few comments.
Well, thank you, David, and thank you all for being here to celebrate this important announcement. As the Senator said, this is not just important for Chattanooga, but for our entire country. As you've heard, EPB's quantum network has the potential to unlock advances in technology that were frankly unimaginable until now, in everything from healthcare to finance to cybersecurity. We are quite literally on the precipice of a new technological frontier. And I'm standing here today because, once again, Chattanooga is at the forefront. Some folks less familiar out there with EPB might find this surprising. Silicon Valley or Austin or Boston may seem like a more obvious place for this kind of technological revolution to grow its roots. But as the mayor, and in deference to the former mayor, Senator Corker, I can honestly say that Chattanooga is the perfect place to launch the nation's first industry-led, commercially available quantum network for private companies and government and university researchers. And that's not just because I think it's a fantastic place to live, although I do, and it is. Now, we in Chattanooga, we've had a long history of harnessing the power of public-private partnership to get big things done, things that push the envelope of what's possible for a city. As many of you know, we earned our Gig City moniker thanks to EPB's first ever community-wide fiber optic network, which paved the way for us to provide the fastest community-wide internet service in the country at price points that are affordable for everyone. But that would have never been possible without Chattanooga's strong culture of public-private collaboration and innovation. And I'm not sure we'll ever be able to fully quantify the tremendous positive impact that EPB fiber has had over Chattanooga in Chattanooga over the last decade, but in everything from quality of life to economic growth to prosperity. One recent analysis estimated that it's generated nearly $2.7 billion in economic benefits for our community thus far. And it's a gift that keeps on giving. It's created more than 9,500 jobs and brought an extra $244 million in new business ventures to Chattanooga so far. But what's clear today is that this is really just the tip of the spear when it comes to the network's full potential. Beyond its uses for electricity and internet, our fiber optic network has also opened up substantial opportunities for local research and smart city applications. Our Smart Community Collaborative, for example, involves a partnership between EPB and 8 other key local partners who've been tapping into the network's smart grid technology to develop innovative solutions for everyday local issues like traffic congestion, pedestrian safety, air quality monitoring, and access to healthcare. And now, thanks to EPB's continued vision and leadership, Chattanooga is once again positioned to lead, this time in an emerging sector that will be vital to our national economy, as the Senator said, and perhaps our national security in the months and the years ahead. So, it goes without saying, this is huge news for our city, for our region, and our nation. And on behalf of the city of Chattanooga, I'm committed to ensuring that this network has the resources and support that it needs to thrive. The entire world will be watching what we're doing in Chattanooga, and if we get this right, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that we do, our region will have a real opportunity to become the nation's next leading innovation and technology hub, with the potential for federal funding that would catalyze unprecedented levels of economic growth and create hundreds of new jobs in high-growth, high-wage sectors throughout the Tennessee Valley Corridor. And it's all thanks to the incredible partners who are here today with us, who saw a future of unimaginable possibilities and had the courage and the grit to turn it into reality. So before I close, I want to make sure and recognize everyone who came together to make today possible. First, and really foremost, thank you to former Mayor and U.S. Senator Bob Corker, whose vision during his tenure as a Chattanooga mayor, no small thing for a politician to take a risk as big as this one, ignited the creation of EPB's community-wide fiber optic network, the backbone of what we are here to celebrate today. Thank you also to Congressman Fleischman, who unfortunately couldn't be with us today, and our entire congressional delegation for all they do to support Tennessee as a leader in technology and innovation economy. To Hamilton County Mayor Weston Wong, I'm grateful to have you and your team on board as partners as we chart this exciting new path for our community's future. And I also want to recognize Chancellor Angle from UTC and his team for being an essential partner in piloting this network and helping build the future quantum workforce. And of course, the biggest thank you of all to the incredible team at Cubatech, Dr. Earl and EPB, who brought this whole network to life. Dr. Earl, thank you. I cannot thank you enough for choosing Chattanooga. And to David Wade and Vicki Gregg and the amazing team at EPB, you are one of Chattanooga's greatest competitive advantages, and I'm incredibly grateful as the mayor to be at the right place at the right time. You make my job a whole lot easier, so thank you very much indeed. And it is now my honor and my pleasure to introduce Hamilton County Mayor Weston Wong.
Thank you, Mayor. There's been a lot said here about the international implications and certainly a lot said about the public utility that we're all very proud of. I mean, the most extraordinary public utility in America is the Electric Power Board, and the way that you've partnered with students in our county, the way that you've opened up opportunities for entrepreneurs to come to Chattanooga and do things that a couple decades ago were not imaginable. This is the next step in that direction. Even though I did spend some time last night studying decoherence, I won't wade into the technical waters and instead just want to reflect on what I think this means to the workforce that Mayor Kelly and I are so passionate about building, those in our community who've been left behind, those who are headed off to great universities that we want to recruit back. I think EPB shares a vision that what they're doing here, the investments they're making, this one-of-a-kind network will provide pathways, again, just recently unimaginable for the young people in our community. But there's also a human side to this. I think about, as a relatively young mayor, I think about what gave me a vision for my future. One of the things along my way was that the mayor of my hometown became a U.S. Senator. You were a line helper, David Wade, at EPB in 1983, and you're now the CEO of this remarkable organization that's doing world-class things. That inspires students all across our community. And ours has always been a city and county that punches way above its weight for 150 years. This is the most recent example of that. It may very well end up being the biggest example of that. But I don't want to look past just the awesome leadership. And I'm grateful every time I get to spend time with you. And Vicki, your legacy of leadership in our community is very well known. But when I think about the opportunities in front of our young people and what we're signaling to them, part of what today means to me, the opportunities that entrepreneurs will seize that hopefully will open up doors for our students to join them. That's really, in a lot of ways, I feel like my highest mission, a top county government that runs and funds a very large public school system. And to that point, the person next up here is another awesome partner and one who's, I think, committed in this endeavor of building out a great workforce and providing opportunities for the future. So it's my pleasure to introduce the Chancellor of the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, Stephen Angle.
Well, thank you. The University of Tennessee at Chattanooga is delighted to be one of the partners in this project with the EPB Quantum Network. We are going to work very hard to help build a quantum ecosystem in our community, one that will be a magnet for talent and also drive the economy. And that is our mission as a public university, to impact the quality of life and drive the economy. We're working with Hamilton County Schools, K through 12, Chattanooga State Community College, and others to build a quantum-ready workforce so that we will have the workforce prepared to make sure that this quantum network can be used. We've found already that quantum is a magnet. We are hiring faculty. We hired a physics faculty recently, and the reason he selected UTC was the EPB Quantum Network. And I think there are going to be more and more examples of this as we're doing more recruiting. We have a model to build on with our Center for Urban Informatics and Progress. Dr. Mina Sartipi leads that group, which has really pioneered for us the Smart City initiative within Chattanooga to use the high-speed internet backbone that EPB has put through our community. And now we are going to build upon that success as we try to attract partners, grants, and the Smart City Initiative was not just other academic institutions, but it was solving the problems that we each deal with every day in our life, the problems facing our communities. And that is what we need to do with quantum. And so we're going to use that model as we look to foster collaboration, attract partners where we can seek joint solutions, allow the entrepreneurs. I really agree, the private industry coming, creative people with ideas that they believe in and are going to do everything to see it happen. That's what's going to drive this. So as for Chattanooga to be a magnet for talent, I think the quantum network is going to be one of those magnets. And we're delighted to be a part of that. And I'm pleasure to invite EPB CEO David Wade back up to the podium.
Thank you, Chancellor and Mayors. It's certainly as you heard, this is not we're starting to think about building a network. This is, we're announcing we already have a network in place that is sharing quantum states between two equipment nodes today that's sending and receiving qubits, and we are inviting those in the industry to come to Chattanooga for this commercially available network today. So I wanted to make sure I reiterated it is available. The next steps are we're going to be adding nodes to the network, and we're going to be finishing up some user labs where everybody can come set up their own lab, have their own personal access, maintain their own IP, their own isolation from everyone else, and inviting them to come to Chattanooga. So please do that. If you're interested in learning more, you can go to epbquantumnetwork.com and sign up, and we'll get back with you on setting those appointments up. Thanks again to all of our partners. Let me also mention one I forgot to. Daniel Peterson with OFS Fiber. OFS has been a great partner with us throughout this adventure of putting in fiber, and it continues to be as we move into this new space as well. We invite all of you to a panel discussion that will be this afternoon about Chattanooga at around 4, a little after 4, I think. And then tonight we are hosting a reception from 5 to 7 at the JW Marriott. We would invite everyone to join. Again, thank you, and if anyone would like to have individual conversations, please let someone know. Thank you.